I can't be canceled, there's no way that you can stop me. Fully independent, there's no label who can drop me. Y'all been starting rumors, let me help you with some. Can't cancel me, my life is scandal free. There ain't no sponsors taking losses cause the brand is me. My hands are clean, my family and my fans agree. Y'all can't cancel me for facts because you're mad and weak. I don't care if you mad at me, okay? Go ahead and change the channel. Don't waste your time trying to cancel me, okay? They love me cause they know that I'm an asshole. Say what you want, I guess it is what it is. Haters can talk, but they can't cancel the kid. Go ahead and go off, try and say this is it. But I swear to God, you can't cancel the kid. Y'all some snakes, I don't need fruit from that apple tree. I ain't doing features or buying beats. I'm a wolf, I don't lie with sheep. I am what I am, and I can't hide my teeth. Way too many rumors, I'm like, who said it? Never met him, if he dissed me, probably about to drop a new record. I do what I want, don't matter if I get approval or not. Y'all ain't gonna cyberbully me or try to push on me until I'm becoming some dude who I'm not. Go ahead and call me a piece of garbage, make a starving artist your primary target. I'm the largest monster in the farthest darkness, and my claws are sharp and I'm an army sergeant. If people wanna hate, then I'm grateful. It's only gonna make what I say less painful. Look at my face, embrace I'm unstable. I ain't gonna break or shake or feel shameful. I am not playing it safe, I said what I said, it is what it is.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This show is going to be about one of our favorite people in the whole wide world, Tiny Tusitala Toese, and what is going on with him. Now, he is in jail, for those of you who don't know, and he is in jail for straight up political persecution. That's all it is. There is no ifs, ands, buts, or anything else possibly about it. It is political persecution. And I will explain to you how this is political persecution, why the charges are garbage in the first place, and secondly, how you can help him out. So please stay tuned because this is going to get you probably pretty irritated, considering the fact that I am extremely irritated at what's happening right now in this country, and especially in Washington State and Oregon State, to one of my really good friends, very passionate, very pro-American, Tiny Tusitala Toese. So to start this off, let me just go ahead and give you a rundown of all of the charges that Tiny is currently facing. At the top here, you see jurisdiction Oregon, assault 2 times 3, assault 3 times 3, weapons charge times 2, riot times 2, criminal mischief times 2, no bail, arrest date 1/6/22. Then right below that, we have Superior Court, obstructing law enforcement officer, criminal trespass second degree, and assault in the third degree at the Superior Court of Thurston County. Now, those he can bail out from, but as soon as he bails out of those, he would be shipped down to Portland because they are holding him on a no bail. So, I will explain to you exactly what these charges are. The first charges are the ones below, strangely enough, from Thurston County. And these charges are stemming from something that happened over a year ago. On January 6th, 2021, at the Governor's Mansion in Olympia, Washington, at the Washington State Capitol, there was about 300 or so people that walked into the Governor's Mansion. I'm going to show you a little clip right now of Tiny's involvement in this action. Now right there you can see Tiny off to the left, and he's on the bullhorn. He's saying, this is our house, we've paid the taxes, we've bought, we've paid for this house, it's a people's house, so on and so forth. And at the bottom right hand corner of the screen there, you see a couple guys that, pushed a gate open, a tiny little walk-in gate. They pushed open with zero effort as people were, shaking the bigger gate. Funny enough, the first guy through the gate was one of the Nazis that we talked about, in the previous shows about this event. Anyway, now let's see what else Tiny did. So Tiny was not the first person through the gate, second, third, fourth, or fifth person through the gate. He was the seventh person that walked through the gate. And yet somehow he's getting a trespassing charge, but nobody else, really? Those first six? No, it's fine. Tiny's getting a trespassing charge. Weird. So now the next clip I'm going to show you is when the State Patrol officer, who probably weighs about 125 pounds, decides to show up and stop everybody from going in the gate. Now right there you see the officer closes the gate semi-successfully for about 1 second. The gate pushes open through the officer, again, probably weighing about 125 pounds, and then people are pushing through the gate and getting in the officer's face. The officer is pushing people with their nightstick, right? And Tiny comes up and he's like, whoa, because this cop is being very aggressive, right? And if you have a mob of 300 people who are walking through a gate who are already pissed off as it is, and there's one lone officer, chances are that officer's probably going to get hurt. So Tiny comes up and gets between the people, gets between the officer and the people. He doesn't put a hand on the officer. He uses his arm and he pushes the officer back a short distance, and then he backs away. The officer doesn't hit Tiny. The officer doesn't come after Tiny for anything or any reason whatsoever. And this is what happens next.
Don't be a red coat. Don't be a red coat. This is America. We pay your salary. And what you are doing is unconstitutional. Come on in. We pay for this mission. Come on in.
And you can see the officer completely disengages for a moment, hesitates to kind of get back into it again, starts to get back into it again, and then is just like, okay, yeah, probably not a good idea. I'm probably going to get hurt if I continue to try to stop these people from coming into the governor's mansion area, the compound there. Now, concrete and go to the lawn.
If you guys can go to the lawn, I'm okay with whatever you guys do on the lawn. Just come back to the lawn.
Yeah, super scary event. Lone cop comes walking out and he's like, if you guys want to go to the lawn, go do whatever you want. Like, it's fine. Just, please go to the lawn. And then a little bit after that, somebody opened up the trunk of one of the State Patrol Explorers that were out there, and then they closed it. As soon as the cop that was at the door asked them to close it. Yeah, totally out of control, super scary. Oh my gosh, another insurrection in the state of Washington. Wow, crazy stuff that's going on. But here's my biggest problem with all of this. How come a year later, Tiny is picked up in Clark County on December 29th and then shipped up to Thurston County on, shortly after that, on I think it was January 5th is when he got to Thurston County Jail, to be arraigned for what happened a year ago. Especially since there was hundreds of people that walked in there. There were hundreds of people that were in there, and there were a lot crazier people, two crazier people who were actual Nazis who actually sat there and said, hey, screw the Jews and all this garbage. And then they were quickly exited out of the event. The people stood up against them and kicked them out. I've talked about that multiple times. Now, there have been other people who were persons of interest who have been charged, but crazy though. No, I'm not going to spoil it. Check this out.
Your help is needed trying to identify this man. He was part of the group that broke through the fence at the governor's mansion in Olympia January 6th, the same day that the U.S. Capitol was attacked. The State Patrol says that he is wanted for assault.
Well, here in our state troopers are trying to find a man investigated for assault in connection to this protest on the very same day. You might remember last month when a group of Trump supporters broke through a fence and rushed onto the front lawn at the governor's mansion. The group stopped there, but state troopers say this man is being investigated for third-degree assault in connection to that breach. Take a good look. If you recognize this man, call the State Patrol tip line.
Now, since Tiny, was arrested a year later, and let me remind you guys, he was shot in Olympia just about 3 months ago. He's been back to Olympia multiple times, and yet he was never picked up. He was never arrested. He was actually surrounded by police officers when he got shot, and he didn't go to jail then, did he? No, he hasn't gone to jail in Thurston County in over a year. No warrants, no nothing, in over a year. And so you would imagine that these people that they were, looking for, these suspects that, were such horrible actors, which I didn't see them. I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what they did. I have no idea how their cases turned out because you can't find anything on them. But the only one person who was convicted, well, you'll see him at the end. But you would figure that there would be all these people were arrested after, about a year or so went by, right? Maybe a couple months went by where they could figure out who these people were and get really good pictures of them and actually, identify who these people might be. Unlike Tiny, who is a public figure, who is pretty famous, who people and law enforcement know about all over this country. So let's go ahead and check out the dates that these people were being looked for, that these people were, persons of interest. These warrants were put out for these people. We have February 10th, 2021. We also have February 3rd, 2021. And then, of course, one of the neo-Nazis got in trouble for assaulting some media people. Charges were filed January 11th, and he was taken into custody the following Tuesday. And yet, for some reason, it took them about a year to get charges on Tiny, to get anything to do with Tiny at the Capitol. Explain that to me. Anybody please explain to me why it would take a year for a high-profile individual to get charges filed on him a year after the alleged incident. And if you think that's bad, we're going to move right on into Oregon. Oregon, August 22nd, 2022, was a bad day for Portland. It was a bad day for America, if you want to be honest about it. The reason being is there was a patriot group who wanted to have an event down at the Portland waterfront. They decided, due to the politicians coming out and condemning them as white supremacists, which isn't even true, and condemning and calling for action, calling for people to come out and stand up against hate and all this garbage, while they were doing was spewing hate, these people who were originally planning on having the event in downtown Portland on the waterfront decided to move their event over 8 miles away to another part of Portland, a area that has really not very many people. It's an industrial area. It's an abandoned Kmart. It is a place that is far, far away from downtown Portland and any people who are trying to create violence. So they had this event. I was there. I actually spoke on it. I did a show on it, and you can go see it. The link will be in the description of the video. And here we are all over there at this abandoned Kmart in Northeast Portland, and Antifa decided to come over to where we were and attack us. They were throwing explosive devices at a gas station. They tried driving a van into the middle of the parking lot into a group of people who were standing there, and people fought back. Yes, there was violence. Violence that came across the city, violence that came looking for a fight, and people fought back and defended themselves. And yet Tiny's going to be charged with assaults, multiple assaults, because he was defending himself from a mob of people that came again across town to attack people, children, women. Everybody was there. There was all sorts of people that were there, and Antifa came to assault them. And so because people defended themselves, people are going to be charged. And not everybody who is defending themselves is being charged. Tiny is being charged. That is a problem. And if you really want to have, what I honestly believe, like, I'm getting frustrated right now just because it's very irritating to me. But I definitely believe that there needs to be a class action lawsuit against the city of Portland for all of this political persecution, all of this pointing and letting rioters out who are assaulting cops. They get arrested and they get let go 5 minutes later, and they get arrested again and let go again. That is what has been going on in the city of Portland for years now. The media has talked about it for years now. And yet, all of a sudden, you have right-wingers who are fighting back, who are literally defending themselves with prejudice because they're having chemical weapons used against them. They're having paint sprayed all over them, paint mixed with who knows what else, other chemical irritants that were in the paint with the fire extinguishers. Again, I did a show on this. You can go, I laid it all out and I covered all of this stuff. But this is the problem, people. The police weren't there. The police knew about it. There were 911 calls coming from the Chevron station itself saying there are explosives being thrown and going off at our gas station. And they were like, sorry, nothing we can do. We know there's officers monitoring the situation, but it's okay. No, there were explosives going off at gas pumps. Okay? Not okay by any stretch of the imagination. And yet, again, Tiny is all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, 6 months later, charged with all of these crimes. This is straight up political persecution, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and there needs to be something done about it. And the city of Portland can't pretend like this, they didn't see it coming, that they didn't know it was happening. Check this out. Here's a clip from the show I did on the whole day. They put out the address for the moved Fash rally. Stay the course and meet at Salmon Springs. Would be a shame if there were spike strips at the exits. Never leave a comrade behind. This is as real as it gets. We need each other. We live for this stuff. I'll die for this stuff. For real, we protect each other. There's no street rules when it comes to dealing with Fash. Do what you gotta do. Portland, we are ready for tomorrow. Know your entry and exit route. If possible, have a buddy group you trust. If needing any support of any kind, please DM us and we will try our best. Here they're talking about how it must be a fake out, how everybody must be going downtown. And then there's people saying that they're a bunch of cowards. And are you really begging for an ass kicking? And here you can see Luis, the Antifa leader of Portland, saying, defend Portland today, keep together, punch a neo-fascist. And below there, he's talking about, look who showed up. Yes, Antifa decided to bring people in, to fly people in from out of state, like the Reverend back there was saying, oh, a lot of these guys are from out of state. Yeah, Antifa and Luis actually did fundraising to bring in people from out of state. Check your gear, try everything on, and move around. Know how you'll get in and out. Have flexible transportation plans in place. Eat, drink water, and get plenty of sleep. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you tomorrow. Broadway Bridge is closed, so they can't use that, which would have been the simplest way to go. Given John the Lefty's report, also known as John Hacker, of the caravan's last known location, here's their likely route on the Morrison Bridge. The Proud Boys might be taking to the waterfront. And here is the doozy. And this also really illustrates what a lot of the sentiment was. Those effing fascist bitches from Clark County tried to make it to the waterfront park in Portland. They made it to 122nd and Sandy. Antifa have snipers on roofs and parking garages downtown. If they're gonna show up in trucks, Proud Boys are bitch made. Anti-fascist party downtown now. So you have legit threats days in advance of the event itself. Police knew about it. The city of Portland knew about it. They knew that there was going to be a fight, and the only people who were looking for a fight was the left. The only people looking for a fight was Antifa. The only people looking for a fight were the politicians who are trying to rile everybody up. And yet again, Tiny's getting charged for this? You've got to be kidding me. And don't take my word for it, guys. This is literally across town. The only horrible people were the people who decided to change locations to avoid a conflict, to avoid a fight, to avoid a riot, to avoid people getting hurt and or killed, moving to an area that is literally on the opposite side of town. And just so you guys can see that I'm not making it up, if you look at the dot in the middle, the green one right there, that is Tom McCall Park. That is where the original event was supposed to take place. 20 minutes away, about 8.3 miles, and this is the shortest distance. This is not the way that anybody would have gone. They would have taken the freeways, which would have added time and miles, but this is the shortest distance between the 2 points that a person could take. It is 20 minutes away almost, and it is 8 miles away. And you are almost in Gresham at that point. You are literally on the outer edge of the Portland city limits, about as far away from downtown Portland as you can get within the city limits. And Antifa decided to travel 20 plus minutes, 8 plus miles, with the sole purpose of assaulting people for wanting to have a freedom rally. So you guys want to know how many Antifa have been charged with a crime for that day? 0. You want to know how much footage there is of Antifa committing crimes? Well, I have quite a bit of it on the show that I did, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit more footage where there were a lot of cops. There were quite a few cops that were in downtown Portland when they were attacking people. But again, anybody get arrested for this?
Go home, you're moving. Get the fuck out of here. You're moving. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. You're on the phone. Ain't no one on the phone with the fucking gun. We're leaving. No, get the fuck out. No, get the fuck out of here. You ain't talking to anybody. It's not even a phone call. Get the fuck out. You too. Get the fuck out. Dude, he's not even on the phone. Ain't no one on the phone. Get the fuck out.
Those were just 2 random people that were out going for a walk in Portland, maybe coming to check out the craziness that was on the waterfront. But these were just normal everyday people. They weren't patriots. They weren't anybody. They were just literally normal people going out for a walk. Now, let's take a look at the street preachers and what they endured while they were down there.
He's taking that from him. Don't take that away from us. That's ours.
Hey, what are you doing? Fucking happen in my city. If you want to fucking do this, then get the fuck out. Then get the fuck out. We're asking you to leave. Just get the fuck out.
You guys hate. I think you guys are full of hate. You guys are full of hate.
Can you leave?
Please, for
Can
your
anger
own
in your
safety.
heart.
I'm done with this, dude! You're gonna fucking either stay here and shut the fuck up about it, or you're gonna get your ass kicked. What's it gonna be, homie? You're gonna stay here? Alright, shut the fuck up about it.
Because we love pride.
Can you guys leave?
And yet not a single person in Black Bloc has been arrested. Nobody has had a warrant put out for them. Nothing. None of them have been charged with any crimes of any kind, nor will they. Because that is the state of our union, people. That is where we are at. If you are a high-profile brown man who stands up against tyranny, who stands up against any sort of communism and socialism and leftist fascism, then you are a target. If you are a brown man who believes in America and the freedom that it provides, who speaks on it with such passion and vigor and will physically defend himself and others, then you're a target. You're a target in America, especially if you're a brown guy. Especially if you're a brown guy, because he's enemy number 1. He's a traitor to these people. They can't comprehend the idea that there could possibly be a person of color who actually likes this country, who actually fights for this country, who actually stands up for this country and its values. They hate it. This is straight up political persecution, 100%. And the world needs to know about this. The world needs to be aware that this man, this courageous soul who has countlessly defended people, who has countlessly fought for this country and defended himself, is being targeted just because of who he is. And that shouldn't be the case. That should not happen. That should not be happening in the United States of America, especially when there are legit terrorists going around and getting away with everything all the time. It's a problem, guys. And until people start standing up and until people start actually doing something about this, it's going to continue. You might be next. You probably will be next, especially if you're brown. It's ridiculous. It's racist. Yep, 100%. We're in a horrible, horrible place. And Tiny is in a horrible, horrible place right now. If you want to help him out, all of my donation links are in the description here. Right now, he's currently in Thurston County. I don't know how long he's going to be in Thurston County. When he gets transferred down to Multnomah County, I will put the actual link that you guys can use to put money on his books in Multnomah County. Currently, he does not need a legal fund. If it ends up coming that way, I'll definitely do another show to update that as well. But for right now, all of my donation links are there. If you guys want to help Tiny out, if you want to put some money on his books, go ahead, send me whatever you want to, send to him. And just make sure you write the note for Tiny. That way I know that it's for him and you guys aren't donating to help me, keep going. So just make sure you put the note for him, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. It doesn't matter. Any one of those will work. And I'll make sure that he gets it. He will definitely appreciate it. I will definitely keep you guys updated to what's going on when his trial comes, when and if he gets transferred to Portland. I'll keep you guys updated, and then I'll definitely provide links when it's in a more solid place. I highly doubt that this Thurston County thing is going to go anywhere. It really shouldn't by any stretch of the imagination. But Portland is a whole other beast, and Portland is a rough stretch for anybody who's definitely on the right. It's a very, very bad deal. So if you guys want to help him out, go ahead and send me whatever you want to give him, and I'll make sure he gets it. And thank you guys for watching. If you guys know some lawyers, he has a lawyer right now who's working on his case, and but if you guys know some lawyers who want to do a class action lawsuit so he can maybe sue the city of Portland and the state of Washington even for this targeted harassment, Portland especially, because they've been going after him forever. Just let me know, and we'll do what we can for him. Thank you guys for watching, and okay, so I'm going to cut that short because I did forget a couple things. One thing I wanted to share with you guys is part of the article that talked about him being indicted for August 22nd. Here's a little piece of it. It says, Portland attorney Juan Chavez, who's representing 2 left-wing demonstrators wounded in the August 22nd brawl, including the man inside the truck, said a grand jury brought the indictment against Toese in December. In December. We've seen a lot of BS from Tiny over the years, but he really came out as a Proud Boy organizer and leader on August 22nd, Chavez told the Oregonian and Oregon Live. Right-wing organizing in our city can't continue unabated. These indictments send a strong message. My hope is that Proud Boys will think twice about coming to Portland to terrorize our communities. That is called political persecution, people. 100%. Let me read that again. Right-wing organizing in our city can't continue unabated. Right-wingers are not allowed in the city of Portland. That's what it says. Maybe the Proud Boys will think twice about coming to Portland. This is targeted. 100% targeted. How come these Antifa kids who got hurt because they came to attack a bunch of people who just wanted to have a rally, how come they get this lawyer who gets his platform to say right-wingers aren't welcome in Portland? I didn't want to leave that out. I really didn't want to leave that out because, I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. It blows me away that's even allowed to be thought in an American city. It blows me away. And if anybody were to go down and have another publicly, announced event in Portland, the exact same thing that happened on August 22nd will happen again. The politicians will come out and they'll sit there and we need to get them. That's what'll happen. And if it's not Tiny, it'll be Andrew Duncombe. Because he's a black guy who likes America and it stands for America. He already got stabbed by Antifa. He gets targeted by these guys all the time. He's been called a white supremacist by Nancy Pelosi. It's part of their narrative. It's what they do. So, yes, like I was saying, thank you guys for watching. This stuff pisses me off. It really, really does. Because it's 100% political persecution. Like, we're in China. Like, this is legit China that we're living in right now. Right here. Right here in America, this is China. A year later, Tiny gets picked up for something that happened on January 6th that was weak sauce, if anything. A true stretch when it comes to putting charges on somebody. Especially when there's other people that were there as well. And then trying to put charges on him for defending people, for defending himself on August 22nd? Are you kidding me? But like I said, if you guys want to donate to Tiny's books, if you want to help put money on Tiny's books, send it to me. Donation links are in the description of the video. You guys can use any one of them. Just make sure you put the note for Tiny on there. And I want to also tell you guys that I'm going to put a time on this. So by February 1st, because again, I don't know where Tiny's going to be after February 1st. But if you're watching this video, because it's going to be saved, if you're watching this video after February 1st, do not send money for Tiny to me. Hopefully by that point in time, I'll have done another show and I'll be able to, you know, if Tiny's in Multnomah County at that point in time, then I'll be able to put that link there. But like I said, right now he's in limbo. We don't know where he's at or where he's going to be in the next week or so. We just don't know. Or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we just don't know. So for right now, if you want to help him out until February 1st, send it to any of my donation links and I'll make sure he gets it. He needs your prayers, guys. He just found out Villain died. He was picked up December 29th and Villain passed away on New Year's or the day after New Year's. And Tiny had no idea, and it hurt him knowing that. Finding that out. Like, he's already in a bad place, and that didn't help any. So if you guys want to send any support, if you guys want to help him out, that will definitely kind of get his morale up there a little bit more. I've been talking to his attorney, talking to his girlfriend. I've been trying to get stuff figured out and working out for him to make him have a little bit more hope. Because he got shot recently, guys. He got shot. He's had some other medical issues since then. He's been having a pretty rough time. So I'm sure she's watching. I think she's watching. And so she'll definitely pass on your guys' love that you have already put down on the live comments. And I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Please share this out because people need to see it. They need to know what's going on. They need to know about this persecution that's happening right now, and it needs to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is if people start getting out there and standing up and doing something about it. Keyboard warrioring, me doing my shows, you know, that's a little bit, but we need people out there actually standing up against this tyranny that we're facing right now and this unequal justice garbage that is now the United States of America. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you. I will see you all again very, very soon. And help him out. Help him out if you possibly can. And pray for the guy. Pray for the guy. He needs your prayers. Thank you, guys.
I can't be canceled, there's no way that you can stop me. Fully independent, there's no label who can drop me. Y'all been starting rumors, let me help you with some. Can't cancel me, my life is scandal free. There ain't no sponsors taking losses cause the brand is me. My hands are clean, my family and my fans agree. Y'all can't cancel me for facts because you're mad and weak. I don't care if you mad at me, okay? Go ahead and change the channel. Don't waste your time trying to cancel me, okay? They love me cause they know that I'm an asshole. Say what you want, I guess it is what it is. Haters can talk, but they can't cancel the kid. Go ahead and go off, try and say this is it. But I swear to God, you can't cancel the kid. Y'all some snakes, I don't need fruit from that apple tree. I ain't doing features or buying beats. I'm a wolf, I don't lie with sheep. I am what I am, and I can't hide my teeth. Way too many rumors, I'm like, who said it? Never met him, if he dissed me, probably about to drop a new record. I do what I want, don't matter if I get approval or not. Y'all ain't gonna cyberbully me or try to push on me until I'm becoming some dude who I'm not. Go ahead and call me a piece of garbage, make a starving artist your primary target. I'm the largest monster in the farthest darkness, and my claws are sharp and I'm an army sergeant. If people wanna hate, then I'm grateful. It's only gonna make what I say less painful. Look at my face, embrace, I'm unstable. I ain't gonna break or shake or feel shameful. I am not playing it safe, I said what I said, it is what it is.